Howdy, Summers. Christmas is right around the corner, which means it is time for my last Christmas holiday themed build of the year. Now, obviously, this is the grand finale of all of my Christmas themed builds, so I have to go all out, right? It's kind of the unspoken rule. So, as the title says, I am building a Christmas themed hotel today, except it's not really a hotel. I have it officially set as the Christmas Inn, so I kind of imagine it more as like a bed and breakfast situation, except it's a lot grander than that. So I don't know if I could really call this a hotel. But there are a lot of rooms for your Sims to stay in, and there's bathrooms and a giant kitchen and whatever else. So I don't know. But you may notice before I get too far into the video, I should probably talk about this. My voice is not doing so well right now. I really should not be recording this right now, but I am because I want to get this done. So I'm gonna try to get through my commentary as smoothly as possible, but my voice is going out, so I apologize if I sound a little strange today. But yeah, I am super happy with how this build came out. This took me so long to do though, because with kind of every Christmas thing I do, like every single year, I try to go out with a bang, right? When I do my Christmas builds. So I'll have a few things kind of here and there throughout the month that pop up. And then when we get to like right before Christmas, I'll usually do a pretty big build or, something that's just overwhelmingly Christmas. So in the past, I've done like, I think Santa's Workshop at one point. What else did I do? I don't remember what my other big builds were. I don't know. I know I've done a gingerbread house in the past, but I feel like that was a fairly easy one for me to do. And I don't know. But this one is huge. This is a really big build. It took me a really long time to do, and I hope that you guys like it because I put a lot of effort into it. So yeah, I hate doing bigger builds. It's so out of my comfort zone, but I really tried my best with this because of just the holiday season. And, I said before in, I think it was my last kind of build video that was Christmassy themed, that I didn't want to set expectations for this too high because I hadn't built it yet. I didn't really know what it was gonna end up looking like. And honestly, I think this came out really good. So let me know what your thoughts are at the end of the video once you've seen everything. But this build has, I believe, 5 bedrooms in total. And there are 6 bathrooms in this entire build. So each bedroom has kind of their own bathroom, and then there's like a more public one for just, whoever. So I love using this wallpaper from Get Together for my Christmassy type builds. I can't make it work in any other build ever. Like, I don't know how to use it properly, but it gives Christmas vibes to me. So whenever we get around to these holiday themed builds, I tend to gravitate towards this wallpaper or this set of wallpaper because it's actually multiple that I'm using. But I think it's more so about the design on it. Like, the one I'm using on the bottom level has this really unique pattern at the very bottom there. And I don't know why that gives Christmas vibes to me so much, but it does. I love this wallpaper for that purpose alone. But for landscaping stuff, I've gone ahead and just kind of done that as our first thing. I've surrounded the place with evergreen trees. We also have these little white trees on either side that have like lights in them. And then we have some hedges at the front that have some Christmas lights in them, and I think those were from an event a while ago, like a login event. So, honestly, very simple landscaping job, but I think it looks really nice, and it looks even nicer in the actual winter setting. Once again, we are building in a very green environment right now. It is the middle of summer in this save. And yeah, it's once again just easier for me to see what I'm doing when I'm building in this season. So I've moved the build into the winter holiday though. But yeah. So for this build right now, I am just getting some doors around. All of the bathrooms can only be accessed from the bedrooms, except for one, which is in this public space. So we're starting out with kind of our lobby area. So we have a front desk. I've put some counters out just to kind of extend the desk because I did not realize how small that was going to be. Originally, I was just going to use counters and I was going to try to cheat a computer onto them, do a little like move objects trick. But there was a desk literally called the front desk and I just had to use it. So yeah. Now, something you will notice about this build is that I don't go fully traditional colors everywhere for Christmas. Like, I do use a lot of traditional red and green. But growing up, my family actually had two themes for Christmas. One year would be the traditional, the other year was like silver and white, blue and purple, that kind of stuff. And so we have a mix of both of that throughout the spaces. So you'll see a little bit of the blue and white, and then you'll see many rooms that have the traditional red and green. But for the lobby, I thought it was a good idea to stick with the neutral and not just like walk in and immediately have Christmas thrown in your face. A nice subtle Christmas for the entryway. So, as subtle as we can be, I suppose. But you're gonna see, I use a lot of seasons and the holiday stuff pack in this because of all of the holiday decorations. So the build has a lot of other packs in it as well, but it is primarily those two packs. So yeah. But I have to say, my favorite room in this entire build is kind of the commons area, which we have not started working on yet. But I don't know. I had kind of some ideas in my head for what I wanted to do with this. I had figured out the shape of the build, and it actually ended up being slightly bigger than I wanted it to. I underestimated the size of some things, and it's fine. I do what I can with what I've got. I try to work around it because I was kind of okay with how the shape was when I was working on stuff. I didn't want to like try to downsize or anything. So yeah, but yeah, this is a long footage. I tried to cut down as much as I could, but I was working on this build for a long time. So yeah, but we are working on the commons area now. So this is kind of like a living room space, and I knew that I wanted this area to be like Christmas threw up in it. Like you walk in, and there is no doubt that this is a Christmas room. So we've got this beautiful Christmas tree, which we have another variant of it in the lobby area with the different colors to match that blue and white aesthetic. Although it's more of a creamy white, isn't it? I don't know. It's not like pure white, I guess. But anyway, this is my favorite room in the entire build because I thought long and hard about how I wanted this to look. And I feel like I accomplished it. I did what I could. Now, I really wish that we had a few more items to put around, just like little things, because I wanted to put in some snow globes, right? And I didn't end up putting any in here. But it kind of occurred to me, I don't think we have any proper snow globes in the game. Like, we have the ones that are supposed to represent either different worlds in The Sims or like different parts of San Myshuno. You go around San Myshuno, dig in some boxes, and you can find a bunch of these little collectible snow globes, but none of them are like Christmassy or winter vibe snow globes, so I just didn't feel like it really matched with the aesthetic here. So I didn't end up using them. But whatever. We've got this really grand fireplace in this room. We have a TV that was also from the login event, I believe. Like forever ago, the holiday login event. That is one of those TVs that also doubles as kind of an art piece. It looks like art until you turn it on. And it has this kind of wintry scenery in it. So yeah, that's what I end up using. And in here, I really just tried to use every holiday item that I could find because I wanted this to be overwhelmingly Christmas. So we've pulled out Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We have these snowman lights. We have a bunch of decals on the walls. It's just a lot. Does it look good? I don't know, but I feel like it maybe does. I think adding the green carpet helped a little bit to kind of sell that because I did originally just have it with that wood flooring and it felt too plain. So I think adding the carpet helped, which you're never going to hear me say that again. So I'm not like anti-carpet or anything, just I don't know. Carpet in The Sims, I feel, is a little unnecessary. So yeah. But for our public bathroom, it's just a little thing in the space because I was working on the lobby at the time and I realized, like, what if the person running the front desk needs to use the bathroom? What are they supposed to do? Just go into one of the, suites or something and use someone else's bathroom? Like, no, we needed a public space. So I built a little bathroom just in a corner, and there we go. Now, we're working on the kitchens, and this is really where I started to underestimate the size of things. I thought that these, like, grill kitchen things, I don't know what they are, from Dine Out were a lot bigger, and they are not. So the kitchen is fairly empty in the middle, but we have two of those kitchen set things, lots of counters, lots of dishwashers, and just some kitchen items on the wall. So yeah, I think I did pretty good with the kitchen. It's not the most festive room in the entire build, so it's not really supposed to be. Everywhere else is festive, and this is just kind of meh. But yeah, I dug into the kitchen clutter kit a little bit as well and pulled out some stuff because I thought it would be really nice if we had some like baking stuff around. I got this little like pastry display thing in here, and then that kind of sparked the idea of what if they haven't set this out yet, but they just made some pastries or something or cookies or whatever, and they're getting ready to bring them out into this dining room that we have right next to the kitchens. So, yeah. And once again, underestimating the size of things. I thought that this was a lot smaller than it ended up being. But hey, I had to double up on tables, and I fit a lot of stuff into here. So I'm really, really happy with this space. I was worried at first, though, because of the size. Like, what else was I going to put in here other than tables? And then I think I saw the buffet tables in the catalog, and I was like, you know what? Add these, get a little fountain on them. We're good to go. Little self-serve thing, or maybe the kitchens was working on stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so I double up on these as well. Make sure we have enough food for everyone, because I imagine a lot of Sims would be here. Not as many as the chairs on the dining tables might suggest. But yeah, I don't know. I tried. And I really wish that there was more kind of holiday, winter looking art than there are, but oh well. So that's really why I started using all of this stuff from the seasons and holiday pack, like, just to try to cover up the walls a little bit because we were lacking in appropriate art for the theme. So yeah, can you guys hear my voices giving away even more? Oh my gosh, I am not gonna last this commentary. Oh gosh, but I got a big runner through the middle of the section here. Just because it felt so empty, I needed something more for that area. But yeah, once we were done with all of the kind of public spaces, which took me forever to do, we finally get into doing the actual bedrooms of this build and the bathrooms and all that, which most of the bathrooms in this build are actually the same, except for the layout might vary between some of them. But there is one bathroom upstairs that is completely like sleek bathroom kit stuff because I thought maybe the bedroom that's attached to it was like kind of the expensive, super fancy one amongst all of them, like kind of the penthouse of this inn, I suppose. So we have some of these bedrooms that are a little smaller, maybe not so nice, and then you go upstairs and you have this very grand thing, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. But regardless, we bring the festive vibes into every single room in this build other than the kitchen and the bathrooms, I suppose. But every bedroom is pretty festive, so it's like no matter which room you book, you're gonna get festive vibes from it. So I'm really happy with everything. And then, like I said, bathroom, pretty simple, not too exciting really. I did debate actually making it a little festive, but I didn't really feel how it was necessary. So the most festive that it gets really is I change the color of like the hand towel, or I give them a robe that might be a Christmassy themed color. And yeah, so the first room that we did was red. Now we're working on the green room. And another thing I included as well was to make sure that not all of the rooms were just double beds. Some of them have single beds but are like doubled up. So maybe you have friends staying over if your family is around and a sibling needs to share a room. You know, you can do this instead of having them sleep in the same bed. So I was considerate of that. But yeah, which room do I think is my favorite out of all of these bedrooms? That's the question. Because I really like the traditional color ones as well, but then I have, I think, two that are kind of that bluey color scheme, and I think those ones ended up being really nice too. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'll decide at the end, and if I remember, I'll tell you which one was my favorite. But yeah, I didn't want these to be like too personalized. I did try to keep them somewhat neutral in terms of clutter items, just because it is like a hotel type thing. So you know, you're not actually living here or anything. It's not a family that's just living in this place. It is ideally a place that you would be at for just a little bit and then you'd leave eventually. So, also, I should tell you guys, I built this in Glimmerbrook, which I hate the lighting in this world. It's awful. And I was originally eyeing this like 40 by 30 lot in Magnolia Promenade to build on. And I had meant to kind of build out there, but then I wanted something a little more foresty, I guess, because the lot I was looking at had like a giant thing of sidewalk kind of around it, and I thought putting evergreen trees there would not be ideal. Like, it just wouldn't really fit in with the scene. So I ditched that idea. We found a 40 by 30 in Glimmerbrook, and that's where I ended up building this. So yeah, for the kind of white and blue aesthetic in here, I'm really happy that these like garland pieces actually came in this white and blue color scheme as well, and not just the traditional colors. But maybe this room is my favorite, actually. So I tried to include these little snowflake strings into that as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really trying to utilize every little bit of holiday decorations that we have in the game, and I definitely did not use everything. So there were like banners and some kind of streamer things I didn't end up using, but I think it's fine. So, and of course, I couldn't leave the hallways blank because that just felt not right. So all of the hallways have just as much festivity to them as the rest of the rooms do. So now we're working on that kind of penthouse suite I was telling you guys about, the really grand, kind of expensive one. I imagine like these people maybe booked the entire inn for their family, and so they get like the master bedroom and everyone else kind of gets stuck with the other ones. But this one comes with a vanity. They have this really, not really nice, but really jazzy, not jazzy. I don't know how to describe this. These clothing rack wardrobe things from Get Famous. So they're a little strange, but I just thought they were really grand compared to, I guess, the closet stuff I've been giving the other rooms. And so yeah, this is for the I guess masters of the family or whatever. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, this is the big expensive room, I guess. And so because of that, they get the nicest bathroom, which this thing is huge and it's a lot bigger than it needed to be, even for a really big bathroom. So yeah, and this is where we use a lot of the sleek bathroom kit, which eventually I just stopped changing the swatches of things, like the toilet and the sink. I did not change the swatches at all, even though I changed the swatch on the bathtub and the shower. I kind of forgot at this point. Look, it took me so long to do this build, and my brain was so out of it by the time I was done. And I couldn't anymore. So yeah, we have this giant plant in the bathroom as well, because it actually fit in there, and I thought, you know what? Why not? Maybe that's just how fancy these people are. So yeah, we're finally onto the last room of the inn, and we're going back with the kind of blue and white color scheme in here. So we have 2 bedrooms that fit this, and then the other 3 are a little more of traditional. Although well, no, never mind. I was gonna say the kind of master suite is a little less traditional, but it really is traditional colors. Just it has a bit more white to it, but it's not, mixing the 2 color schemes, I guess, at all. So yeah, I added in these tree decals just to kind of cover up one of the walls. And I don't think this is my favorite room. If I'm being honest, I think it's cute for what it is. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe the room downstairs, that blue one, is probably my favorite one. So yeah, I have gone back through and I changed all of the lights, added ceiling paint to everything. And then it is just the landscaping stuff, or I guess not landscaping, but terrain paint kind of stuff. So yeah, which in the winter, all of this gets covered up anyway, so I don't really know why I did it, but hey, maybe your families are staying in this build during the summer. Who knows? But that is the end of the footage, so let's hop into the game and I will show you this build. And here we are in our kind of winter wonderland. So I think this place looks so good in the winter time. Now obviously all the terrain paint is covered, but it's okay. So I really like this kind of star light thing that we have leading up to the entrance. I think it's a nice little detail. And we've got the hedges over on either side that are covered in Christmas lights. And yeah, we have this grand door that I believe is from Discover University. But we walk in here and we have our lobby. So nice little place here. Go up to the front desk, check in, say, hey, here to stay a night or two. And yeah, I really like this. It's really simple in here, but I don't mind that too much. Obviously, the lighting on some of these garlands is a little strange, but I don't really know what's up with that. So in here is the mega Christmas room. Christmas threw up in this place, and I love it. It looks so cozy in here, and I'm just a huge fan of all of this. Yeah, and then public bathroom is right through this door. Just a little thing, and they kept this bathroom as a little festive, so green counters, this cute little rug. And that's basically it for that bathroom. But then we head over this way, and we have a few vending machines actually in the lobby as well. But then we have the very grand kind of dining room in here. So play some Christmas music while you're sitting at one of these tables. There's also a bar here. So yeah, really nice space. And then through this door, we have the kitchen. Yeah, lots of stuff going on in here. They're getting ready to bake a feast or something. I don't know. And then heading back around here, we're going to enter into our hallway. So super duper festive around here. And I don't think I'm going to show you guys every single bathroom just because they are pretty much the same. But here is bedroom number 1. So we have white with the red and a little bit of green kind of going on. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you this first bathroom though, just because it is slightly different. It's got the shower tub combo. And yeah, so basically every other bathroom aside from one is like that. So you know what, I'll go ahead and show you the blue room next. So this is blue room number 1. And this is probably my favorite one in the entire build. It's so nice. I love the little snowflake stuff, which I definitely thought I had that attached to the shelf, but, it's fine. So, but yeah, I think it's really nice in here. It's got a little chair in the corner with a little fuzzy blanket on it. So, pretty cozy for a kind of cool toned room, I guess. And then in here is the green room, and it's got a couple of single beds here. We have hints of the red in this one. And yeah, I really like it. There's not too much going on in this one. And now we will head up the stairs. And we have some more festive hallway stuff going on. There's a little janitor's closet in there, which is a woohoo spot. So, yeah. And then we'll come into this room. This is blue room number 2. So, yeah, another double single bed situation. But I think it's nice and cozy in here as well. Oh, we have some of that carpet leaking into the doorway. It's fine. And then we have our kind of master suite going on here. So I wouldn't say this is actually like the nicest room, even though it's supposed to be the nicest room. But hey, they have a whole vanity in here. So I think that counts as that. And then they have the very big bathroom in here. Completely the sleek bathroom kit in this room. So other than a few other items. But yeah, that is the Christmas Inn in its full glory. I am so happy with how it turned out, and I hope that you guys like it. This build is available for you guys on the gallery now. You can find it as the Christmas Inn on the gallery. You can also find it under TheSimmingKoala. That is my gallery ID. It's always in the description if you guys ever want to download anything from me. I have it as a small business venue, but I do think it could also work as like a vacation rental kind of thing, or like a retreat kind of thing. I forget what the official lot type is, but the one from Adventure Weights where you can get like a getaway kind of thing. So I think it would work as that as well. But if you want to kind of run this in, it's at a small business venue and you can just like run the front desk or something while people come and go. But it is a 5-bedroom, and I put it as 5-bathroom on here apparently, but it is actually 6 bathrooms. So I don't know. Pretty expensive though, but it's a big build, so yeah. But yeah, it's there for you if you guys want it. But that is the end of the Christmas builds from me this year. I had a lot of fun doing these. I feel like I did a lot of unique stuff this year, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to top it next year, but I have a long time to think about that before we get to that point, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll do something even better next year, if that's even possible. But until then, I have a lot of other kind of regular builds that I'll be doing, and I look forward to seeing kind of what I end up doing next year, I guess, between Sims and also Pair of Lives is supposed to come out in, I think, May next year now, so yeah, we'll see what comes of that, I guess. But I'm gonna go just rest my voice for a little while. So with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials, links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.